January 31st, 2026. A Ukrainian FPV drone targeted Russian soldiers. The first soldier in the target tried to escape, but failed. The other Russian soldier, who fled in a different direction, was caught by the drone before he could get very far. In this region, namely the Donetsk region, many Russian soldiers have become targets of Ukrainian FPV drones one by one. Take a close look at the helplessness of Russian soldiers. Faced with FPV drones, soldiers are so defenseless that they cannot retaliate. Not only soldiers, but military vehicles have also become targets. These drone attacks are weakening Russian forces day by day. This soldier became the drone's target while taking a break. Panicking, he threw the cup in his hand at the drone as he fled. The Russian soldier at the drone's next target chose to remain motionless in the face of the attack. Looking at the FPV drone attacks on Russian soldiers, why do these soldiers choose to remain motionless in the face of drones or not fight back at all? FPV drones can reach speeds of 100 to 150 kilometers per hour. The probability of an infantryman hitting such a small and fast target with a rifle is quite low. Russian soldiers returning to their positions in an ATV vehicle were targeted by a drone. This is the Lyman region, and drone operators affiliated with the Azov battalion carried out attacks specifically targeting armored vehicles in the area. Do you think the era of armored vehicles on the battlefield is over? Or is there a way to counter drones? The ease with which large armored vehicles, BMP, BTR, can be destroyed by drones has led Russian forces to turn to these lighter vehicles, which are considered smaller and harder to hit. A Ukrainian FPV drone is searching for Russian soldiers in the Sumy region. Abandoned areas are constantly monitored by drones. After a long search, a Russian soldier was detected by the FPV drone's radar. At first, he was hiding under a tree. However, the drone operator managed to spot the Russian soldier. The panicked soldier threw his weapon directly at the drone instead of firing it. However, this did not save him from becoming a target. Ukrainian forces have intensified drone attacks in the Donetsk, Lyman, and Pokrovsk regions. Thousands of drone attacks were carried out within just 1 week. The attacks you see here are part of this operation. Many Russian soldiers became targets of the drones while wandering alone on the front lines. It is quite striking that the soldiers do not know what to do against the drones. This concentration in and around Donetsk is Russia's strategy to balance its numerical military superiority with drone technology. A single operator sitting safely in a shelter miles away can neutralize Russian soldiers left alone on the battlefield with surgical precision. This is no longer a war won by the size of armies, but by technological production capacity. Ukrainian reconnaissance units detected Russian soldiers gathered in a garage-like structure in the Pokrovsk region. The artillerymen of the Hrym Artillery Battalion of the 225th Separate Assault Regiment waited until a sufficient number of Russian soldiers had gathered inside, then opened fire on the target with their 155mm artillery weapons. Look at the accurate fire from Ukrainian artillery units. These are highly precise artillery shots. So why had Russian soldiers gathered here? The reasons are understandable. With assault packs and a significant amount of ammunition, you can't go very far on foot, so the Russians decided to take cover there. However, this decision proved fatal for them. The helplessness of Russian soldiers is actually a sign of psychological exhaustion. There is nothing infantry can do against these devices that appear above them in seconds and maneuver left and right. Trying to escape only makes the target more obvious. Standing still means waiting for fate. This situation has made the fear of being watched at any moment by an invisible hunter permanent among soldiers on the front lines. Do you think an army that relies solely on human power has any chance of holding out against such intense and intelligent drone attacks? A Russian soldier returning to his position in his vehicle suddenly came under drone attack. But what's strange here is that the Russian soldier reacted too late. Most likely, he didn't notice the drone until he stopped the vehicle. 3 Ukrainian soldiers raid an underground Russian bunker. However, during the first assault attempt, they encounter unexpected firepower from inside. Look closely. As the Ukrainian soldier is about to enter, shots are fired. The Ukrainian soldier immediately retreats. By chance, the Ukrainian soldier escapes unharmed. This time, an FPV drone is sent inside and the Russian military shelter explodes. Look at the Russian soldier returning to his trench. He is unaware that he has been detected by drones. Shortly after, the FPV drone moved in for the attack. Do you see the FPV drone's precise maneuvers? This is truly a skill that requires considerable experience. In the same area, numerous Russian trenches were rendered completely ineffective due to attacks by Ukrainian FPV drones. The high explosives carried by the unmanned aerial vehicles completely eliminated the soldiers' chances of surviving these attacks. In fact, these moments we are witnessing represent the end of traditional infantry defense. Do you think trenches are still a shield protecting soldiers, or are they just easy targets for drones? A group of Russian attack units on motorcycles was spotted near a cemetery in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian FPV drones immediately launched an attack and targeted the soldiers. 3 Russian soldiers were also targeted by drones. 3 Russian soldiers attacked a building in the Donetsk region where Ukrainian soldiers were located. However, the attack did not go as planned, and one of the soldiers was seriously injured. Here, you can see the Russian soldiers retreating. It is noteworthy that they tried to escape while carrying the wounded soldier on their backs. The fact that they did not even have vehicles for such an attack attempt is a significant problem for them. Because on foot and with a wounded soldier, they cannot escape very far. A soldier carrying his wounded comrade on his back and becoming an open target demonstrates how deep the lack of armored vehicles and the breakdown in the chain of command are in the region. This attack, however, was carried out by a Russian FPV drone. As Ukrainian soldiers rapidly advanced in their vehicle, an FPV drone followed them. The Ukrainian soldiers immediately opened fire. They managed to shoot down the drone, which is quite difficult to hit. A Ukrainian soldier is shooting down drones using a very old machine gun. This shows that many weapons are being reused on this front. It is most likely a very old weapon dating back to the 1940s. If you know the model of this weapon, please share it with us in the comments. The war is no longer confined to the ground, but is also being fought in the skies. Ukrainian FPV drone pilots are detecting and shooting down Russian reconnaissance drones operating on the front lines. In doing so, they collide with the unmanned aerial vehicles. The reconnaissance drones are left highly vulnerable against the rapid maneuvers of the FPV drones. FPV drones are proving that they are no longer just kamikaze weapons, but have also become fighter jets. While the Russians' expensive reconnaissance UAVs believe themselves to be safe hundreds of meters above the ground, they suddenly come under attack from a much faster and more agile FPV drone approaching from below or behind. The Russian forces' logistics route is once again under attack by Ukrainian forces. Numerous unmanned aerial vehicles ambush the logistics route, attacking Russian military vehicles passing through. These military vehicles, which advanced without any measures against the drones, were unable to reach their destination. In modern warfare, an army is considered defeated the moment it cannot deliver ammunition, food, or personnel to the front lines. What we are witnessing here is precisely that. Russian logistics routes are now under an invisible siege. Vehicles venturing onto these roads without any electronic warfare, jammer systems, or armor protection are essentially nothing more than moving training targets for Ukrainian drone operators. How much chance can an army without a secure supply route have on the front lines? Once again, Russian military communication equipment and weapons are being neutralized by drones. Russian forces have been losing their costly military equipment to drones for quite some time now. The loss of billions of dollars worth of armored capacity in this manner is not only a military setback, it also undermines the sustainability of the Russian defense economy. As the harsh winter conditions of 2026 descend upon the front lines, the war has turned into a struggle for survival not only between armies, but also between economies and military doctrines. On that fine line between Russia's sustainable economic loss and Ukraine's strategic resistance, we are witnessing one of the greatest technological disruptions in world history. With billions of dollars worth of high-tech products destroyed on the battlefield every month, the most fundamental question in military literature dominates the agenda. Has high-tech drone warfare permanently consigned traditional heavy armored doctrine to history? Or can tanks adapt to the modern battlefield and maintain their relevance?